Hi, welcome to Messy Missy Creates. This is Melissa. I'm gonna make a journal, and it's not my July journal, although it kind of looks like it could be. This is a journal for a friend, and it's actually going to be a recipe journal. I'm not putting in recipes. I'm making the journal with blank pages because she wants to fill in with her own clip art and recipes and things like that. So anyway, but we wanted to use, let's start with this. This is from this paper pack that I got from Michael's, I don't know, a couple years ago. So I don't know that they still have it, but it's called Lunchbox Friends. And it's got all kinds of, food, whatever. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't get it. I don't even remember what my thinking was when I got it, other than it's cute and, it looks fun, but it's not very, not something I would buy again, I don't think. I mean, unless I decide I want a journal with fried eggs on it. I don't know. Anyway, but it does have this really cute blueberry fabric. It's not fabric. It's paper. Yeah, paper. And I don't know if you can see the detail on the little blueberries. And then it has these little clear glitter dots in between the blueberries. So put that away. Well, not away, but off the desk. And I'm gonna use this fabric. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It's just like a navy blue gingham that matches that. I'm gonna use that for the spine. Which reminds me, I need to go ahead and get my Fabri-Tac out and handy. And go ahead and start setting it upside down. Well, I'm a little ways from that, but you know how long the Fabri-Tac takes. So this is going to be the inside cover. And this blue gingham, or actually this is more like blue buffalo check, I think that's what it would be called. Anyway, I'm going to make pockets out of this. So let me put this to the side. And yeah, I have 2 pieces of each. And you know what I'm making it out of, right? My trusty old Triscuit boxes. So I have this blue gingham ribbon. And I'm going to make, I am going to put eyelets in this and make this little tie for it, because I'm sure that she will pack it full, and then I think she's going to gift it to her daughter-in-law for Christmas this year, so, or her birthday or something like that. So I went ahead and picked up some new embroidery thread. I couldn't remember if I was at Michael's the other day and couldn't remember if I had blue or white thread, so I went ahead and picked that up. And I'll set that stuff to the side, and voila, we have a semi-cut down Triscuit box. I figured I would do that. I do have my cutter in here to my right, but you can't see it. I can't shift the camera over that far, so I went ahead and all I did was cut the tabs off and opened it up. I still have to cut it down a little bit. And let me get this off the desk for a moment and put this up here. This is my scoreboard, and I think it does cut. Yeah, it cuts and scores, but I don't know how good the blade is on it. It's really dirty. I apologize. One day I'll clean it, but not today. So this is I got a little bit bent up. Not bad. And that is not very thick cardstock, but it's thick enough that what will go on the inside will be really thick, so I won't have any problems with that. So I want to measure I want to make sure that this front piece is 6.5, and here's my ruler. I want to start with that. And it is. And I thought I had cut it to 6.5. It has a little bit of a I think I'm actually going to trim it down one little bit. I think I trimmed it right on this crease right here. So let me trim that just a little bit, and then it's not going to end up being exactly 6.5. It'll be a little bit, let's see. Let me see if I can move the, okay, it's got a glare, but it fits, sort of, kind of. This is the big Fiskars, I think it's the rotary cutter. And it cuts cardboard and lots of things. So I'm just going to shave just a hair off. Well, it didn't exactly shave enough off. Huh, let me try that again. There we go. See, I just shaved a little bit off. It's not a big deal, but it got rid of that little, it had like a little hump in it. So, where are we at here? It shouldn't have done too much to it. Actually, you know, I always forget to start this ruler in a little bit. I think I can cut that just a smidge more. Let's see if I can, if I bend that back like that, I can see my 6.5 mark. And I'm not on it. That right there is my, yeah, you can see that. That is my 6.5 inch line right here. So I'm on it. Cut that down. Yeah, I thought when I cut it the first time that didn't seem right. Well, this is actually measuring at a little short of 6.5, but it will actually, it will be fine. It's it will be just fine because we have plenty. 6.5 allows a whole half inch, which is more than enough. Between, you know, here to allow for extras so that it stays within the journal. So now I'm going to put my scoreboard back up here. And I guess one day I should check the blade on that, but I'm pretty sure that it does not cut cardboard. So this is the side, this is going to be the front, and this is the side that we already know. So what I'm going to do, I already know what my measurement from here is. And it's not quite 6.5. I think the last time I did this, I went ahead and did like another score mark here because it was a little over 6.5 instead of trimming it down. But I'm not going to do that this time. Well, it helps if I get my little score tool out. And that also made sure I have a square. This right here is square. And I know that because I trust my scoreboard or my trimmer. So what I'm doing now is I want about a 1/2 inch spine. But had a little visitor over here. Trying to think if I want, yeah, I am going to do this. So that it kind of rolls. Oh, and I jumped the track right there. You can put this over it and it keeps you from doing that. But all I'm doing is, and I've done this in my last couple of journals that I've made, and I like that it rolls. When I mean roll, I don't know if you know what I mean. It kind of makes, instead of a flat spine, it gives you more of a rounded spine. How's that? And I want to do that. I'm just doing it every, well, I'm assuming it's a 1/16 of an inch. I prefer doing it this way if I can stay on my line. There we go. You're not going to see any of that. But I just want to, want it to where it'll roll. and not be flat, because it's helped, I think, keep from getting dinged up. Oh, mercy, I can't stay on the lines here. It's not that big of a deal, but I do need my last one to be straight. Ooh, that looks awful. Okay, so I need a 1/2 inch from here. So at about, I'm going to put it right on this, and hopefully I can stay on the line here. Don't know if I did. Nope. See, sorry, I know that's noisy. Even with this, it jumps the track. So this is not my favorite scoreboard. It's an old Martha Stewart one that it has all these up here, and you can make boxes, you can make all sorts of things, and I don't use it for that. So I have a smaller one that I use for my cards. Okay, that one I need for it to actually have a good, you know, like a 90-degree bend, because that's going to be that. Let me see, I'm gonna flip this up so I can score it from both sides. This one I need, and I was on this right here. I need that one to have a true score line. The other ones, it was just, you know, it just was a suggestion to the paper that I'd like for you to bend a little bit, but not like at a 90-degree angle. So this one, it's saying I need you to bend all the way. So let's see if it got our message here. There we go. There we go, there we go. Because then from there, that's going to be our other. Make sure I have those straight. And there we go. Now, of course, it won't have to bend quite that much, but I just want a good crease right there. There we go. Okay, because then that's our spine. And we're going to ignore this one right here, because otherwise on this box, now I could have taken it apart and I could have made a spine, I could have pieced it together, and I could have whatever, but why? I don't have to. I can do this right here. When I glue the papers onto this, you'll never know that was there. So now I'm going to cut this side. I want it 6.5 inches, or just a hair under 6.5 inches this way. So I'm going to move this noisy thing. And I'm going to bring this one back. Well, I'm glad to know that this one fits in my camera. I don't think you can see the whole thing, but you can see most of it. Okay. So we're going from... Yep, here we go. Nope. There we go. So we're on the 6.5 inch line again. And that's where we cut from a minute ago. I want to get this part out of the way. I want to make sure it's flush there. And flush here. And then I'm going to cut. Measure twice, cut once. 6.5 inch line. 6.5 inch line. Here we go. Make sure it's flush to the bottom of the thing. And voila. And see that one, if I want to use that for a spine or a whatever later, then I can do that. Okay, so now we have our journal. And I am going to measure this just in case. Well, it would help if I measure it from the correct side of the ruler. Yes. It is 1/16 shy of 6.5 inches. So that's what our other one was too. Okay. And again, we're ignoring this right here, because once we get all of our paper on there, you'll never know that was there. And I can even flatten that out a little bit. Let me get my little score tool back. I found if I flatten that out a little bit, it keeps it from showing as much. Of course, it won't show on this side at all, because that is very thick fabric. No, why do I keep saying fabric? It's very... Oh my goodness. This is extremely thick cardstock. So it's not going to show. But I just want to flatten it out just to make sure it doesn't show on the, you know, on the outside. Okay. There we go. And I did 1 month, I did like run tape down there so that I have some extra stability with it. And I ended up seeing the tape more than I ever would think about seeing that line. I mean, this one has it. You can see it a little bit right there, but it's on the back. And that was very thin paper. So this is a little bit thicker. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this one in half. It's a 12 by 12 sheet, so it's going to be 6 inches. And that's going to come to about right here. And then we'll cut our fabric. I'll glue that on, much like I did, maybe you saw me do my June journal. It'll be much like this. And see, you can't tell, you can't see where that other seam is at all in that journal. So, now my backup plan is I have one more sheet of this blueberry. If I mess it up, then I'm going to keep it and it's going to be much larger. But I don't plan on messing it up. All right. So let me get my cutter here. My regular paper cutter. Not the big King Daddy one. And this should be a 12 by 12. You always have to measure that because they're not always exactly 12 inches. This one is. Some of them give you like 12.5 or 13 on one side. That one is 12 inches. So I'm going to cut this at 6 inches. Cutting it in half. It is, you know, it's one thing making a journal for yourself. It's a whole other thing to make a journal for somebody else. And, you know, I got a little nervous doing it, and I shouldn't be. I know how to do this. But, you know, you never get, I guess you never get past that part. I don't think there's any direction on these. I think they're multi-directional, or, you know, not directional specific. I wish that I trusted my measuring enough to cut this. But I'm not going to, because then you have to, if it's measured and cut perfectly, then you have to glue perfectly. Let me get a glue sheet. And let's see where we are on time. And start gluing. Let's do it this way. Move that one out of the way. I'm going to actually put the glue on the box. That worked very well last time. Using my Scotch Create glue stick. And let's see, getting it really good right up to the edges, so that we have good coverage. And I have had this ready. I started to do this video last week, and and, or several days ago anyway. And I sat down to do it, had everything I thought ready, and I couldn't find my, my little eyelet setter. Because I'm not, you know, I don't do those on my journals for the most part. All right, I'm going to flip it all around this way so that I can see where I'm lining up. And I have to be very quiet so that I can get it straight. Do any of you do that too? Like you have to have perfect silence and hold your breath just to get it straight. Anyway, shift it up just a hair. There we go. Now it's over a little bit right here, but that's okay. And I'm gonna score it on this, or not score it, but what did I use last time? I think I have a bone folder in here somewhere. I don't want to do this on the top because it's got the glitter on it. There we go. And the fabric will more than cover, yeah, it's dark enough to cover that box, so I'm not worried about that at all. I'm going to trim this. So basically the same thing as my June journal, if you saw that video. And, oh, I forgot. I have this I could make pockets out of, but I think I'll just, let's see. I forgot all about that part. Alrighty, so when I was asking her what paper she wanted the pockets out of, I didn't even think about offering that one. So here is my other piece. I'm gonna glue, same as I did the other one. Now, let me see where this falls on here. So kind of right to where that A is. I just want to make sure I get glue right up to it, but not too much over it. I mean, eventually it will have glue on it, but I don't want extra stickiness getting all over everything, you know, until I'm ready to put that fabric on. Oh, so next I'm going to make my June journal. I thought about making it first, but anyway, I didn't. I wanted to get this made so I can get this to her. And my daughter's coming this week, so I'm going to try to get some videos made up and to post, you know, while she's here. She's only going to be visiting for a week, so I don't want to, you know, I don't plan on being in my craft room a whole lot. Now, realizing that, though, I do have to, or I don't have to, I would like to get my July journal done before she gets here, so that, you know, I can work in it. I just, see, and you can't tell that's even there. Okay, I did have a little overage on that glue, but it'll be all right. And let's get this trimmed up without cutting the box. Yeah, I did pretty good on the other one. Yay, look. There we go. All right, I got a little bit of sticky on the outside of the box, but that's okay. I'm going to put the, I think I'm going to put the fabric in and then put the end papers in. I know I questioned myself on that in the last video, and I didn't wrap it all the way around. This one I am going to wrap all the way around. And I had, when I was making the June journal, And I debated on that in the video, and I thought about it afterwards, and I thought, you know, I totally drew a blank as far as that goes. And maybe I should have cut some of this fabric prior to starting the video, but I did not. I think I wanted about 2 to 2.5 inches. Let's see, that would give me, if I did 2.5, it gives me about that much overhang on both sides. So I think that's good. I'll do it 2.5. I can always trim some off. Well, you know what? I thought that I had enough to go this way and back over. Okay, I do. I just want to make sure. Now let me see if I can get this started, and then we're going to try tearing it. Because, as you all know, if you've done anything with fabric, a tear is straighter than a cut. Hopefully that is true of this fabric. Okay. I may use this on my July journal too. Now let's see. Well, it did not prove to be. Well, it might be. It's just curled up. Oh, you know what? I should have tore off a little bit and then... Yeah, let me do it again. Because it might not have been straight to begin with. I wasn't even thinking about that. No, it didn't tear straight. What do you know? Okay. I guess I'll have to cut it. No, I'm not going to cut it. I'm just going to do it. Let's see. How much did I lose, actually? Because it might not matter to... I prefer paper on my spines. I think I have decided that. Yeah. I don't know that. Let's see. May not matter. And again, if it was my journal, I would not even think twice about using it. But seeing how it's not my journal, I think what I'm going to do is, since this is not 12 by 12 paper and I can do this right up to the, I think I'm just going to use this on the outside. I don't think I'm going to wrap it. Because she actually had asked me if I could use this and edge it on the inside. So I think I'm going to do it that way. But I'm going to cut this at a full 6.5. So let's see, it's 8.5 that way. I just drew a blank. Yeah. 8.5 by... So I need it 6 and... If I do 6 1/4, if I do 6.5, it's going to run into the spine. If I do 6 1/4, it goes right up to the edge. Right? 6 1/4. Yep, I need 6 1/4 by 9 1/8, I think. Can you remember that? 6 1/4 by 9 1/8. And then I have to, I think I'm just going to cut the 6 1/4 first. Because remember what we said about having to glue perfectly. Alright, so I have to do the 6 1/4. Let me pull this out. I didn't think I needed it, but because that's 6.5, and so that makes that 6 1/4. Yeah, I have to do it from this side. Okay. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then I'll be able to do that. Perfect. That looks really good. Okay. Oops. I just hit my lights. So let me, while I have that out, let me cut this one too. So 6 1/4. Okay. I can use that for my journal. Have y'all thought about making your July journals yet? Let's see, which is this is the front. And to me, it does matter. Sometimes it doesn't matter, but in this case, it does. Alrighty. So, glue gun. I almost said glue gun. What did I do with my... Oh, it fell over. Got really hidden. Okay, so I'm going to go up to about right here. Measure out. Just so I have an idea as to where to stop. Right about there. Yeah, right before that. Perfect. And then, you know, if I go over it, it's not a big deal because it's going to have the fabric on it, or the ribbon. I'm not going to put the ribbon on until after I sew in the signatures, though, I don't think. So, I was looking through my 4th of July papers. No, that was not what I meant to say. I was looking through my papers to pick out my July, my journal cover. And I was trying diligently to just use what I have and not go to the store and get something else. And so, you know, I either have to have a 12 by 12 in it, or I have to have 2 8.5 by 11, you know. And, okay, awkward silence while I get it straight. Here we go. And I don't want to do that. That plastic was making marks on the paper. Anyway, so I wasn't, yeah, it's like, eh. I had like one paper that I really, really liked, but I didn't have 2 of them, and you know, that sort of thing. So, wasn't exactly what I wanted to end up using, but it'll be all right. And I may change my mind before I get that far. Okay. All right, we need glue. So we have outside cover, inside cover. After I finish this one. And then they're just plain papers, the papers I've been using in my journals. So there's no excitement in picking out the papers, you know, for the inside. So sorry, that's a little boring, but I like using the plain papers. One day I'm gonna use something a little more interesting in my journals, but I enjoy having the white paper, or just the plain paper. I don't care what color it is. And then I use my, you know, clip art and markers and all the things to embellish it. Or if I want to use paper, you know, like pattern paper or something, I can. I can just put it right over the white, or the, you know, the plain paper. If I have pretty papers in my journal, then I get conflicted about covering them. So it's better for me not to have anything real interesting for my journal papers. How are you? It's not that I mind using them. I just don't, I'll get to the point where I don't want to cover them. And I don't want to do that because, you know, because the papers are precious or something like that. So I just know myself well enough to know that, you know, I don't know. Is anybody else like that? I'd rather put it on the top. The first junk journal I made, I haven't wanted to use it because I really liked the papers that I had on it. And that was not a good thing because, you know, this is the back and this is the front. Okay. So, I'm going to, I said I was going to do that after, but, I don't guess there's any reason why I can't go ahead and do it now. Is there? Can anybody think of a good reason? Other than, yeah, let me wait. I might have to make this a two-parter because I'm going to have to let this glue dry on this fabric for a little while. Okay, so I hope that, and I know she's watching, so I hope that, I don't want to say your name, but my friend who's the journal this is for, I don't know if you like the frayed edges, but in the journal world, that's kind of a sought after thing. Most of us do like them, so I won't fray your edges too much, but there, that's what it's going to look like. And I'm going to bring it up and over and then I'll trim it. I'm going to have to do something because it is fraying. It actually is fraying on the side that I did not tear it. Isn't that weird? The side that I tore it is not fraying. So I'm going to make a cut and not tear it. Well, that didn't quite work out like I planned. Let me see if I can do that again. Nope, that didn't work. It's too close to the edge. That's all right though. I'm gonna get another piece. I'll use that one for my journal because I'm using this fabric for my journal. All right, let me move this out of the way. Get my ruler back over here. What did I do with my ruler? Let's see, here we go. Because this is what I want it to do anyway, because I already tore that edge. 2.5. Ish. I think I got it out of frame, so you couldn't see. I'm sorry. All right. That one actually did better, I think. Let's see. We have that on that end, and we have, oh, look. See, I can wrap this one all the way. That one stayed even. We might have to put like a fray stop on this one. This material is just fraying like crazy. Okay. but it's handmade. Oh no, I dropped my papers. And that's part of the handmade charm, right? So I can wrap this one if I so choose. And then it would look like that. I still don't think, yeah, I think I might. And then I don't have to use this ribbon on the inside. I just have to make sure to get it straight. And then that is sure to hide all of this cardboard. So I think I'm going to do that. And hopefully that she likes that. I've just got to plan how I'm going to get it once I put the glue on. So I'm just going to glue on the inside here. I can always come back and add some glue down the edges. And then that should keep it from running too. So, yeah, I'm going to have about, just so that I have an idea, I'm going to have about 1, 2, 3 stripes on both sides of that. So, look, I have my Fabri-Tac ready. Oh, I need some glue, paper under here, parchment paper. And let's see, darn. Now I glued those end papers in. I can't do that because I already glued because you're supposed to glue the papers in. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to put it on one side, which I think is what she wanted anyway. On one side and then the ribbon on the inside. But because I went ahead and glued the end papers in, the inside cover, I really couldn't. Because those really should go over the... I can't talk in glue. The paper should go over the edge of the fabric, is what I'm trying to say, on the inside. I don't guess there's a rule that you have to. Come on, glue. This is where I realize how weak my right hand still is, trying to get this glue out of this bottle. But it's good exercise. Alright, I'm trying to get it down that strip, just a little bead of it, and all the way to the ends. I don't have a little smearing tool in here right now, so I'm kind of using the nozzle of the bottle for that. There we go. Alright. See, you can't get it to come out, and then you can't get it to stop. There we go. Alright, fabric. Let's line you up here. Do it this way. Maybe I can see. I might have to stand up. Nope. I'm going to start it this way. And I kind of got to hurry because that glue dries pretty quick. Alright, so I want about like that. I think. That looks fairly straight. Come on out. There we go. Guess I should have. I don't even know if you could see that. I stopped it right at the top edge. But like I said, if this one doesn't turn out, I'll use it for my July journal. And, uh-oh. Need to use a clean glue sheet. Alright, let me me see if I can get a little bit, and we don't dare bend it, not until we know it's dry. So let me get, I'm not even going to cut the fabric just yet. I just want to make sure that it's on here good. And you don't want to put so much that it comes through the, because you know, Fabri-Tac, if you've ever used it, you know it can come up through the fabric. Alrighty. So I'm just using little bits, kind of just thinning it out as I run over it. You know, it's coming out slowly. Well, let me put this cap back on before I have a glue mess. I want to get this out from under here. There we go. So I want that flat. So I'm trying to get the glue all the way out to the edges for the most part. And then that in itself will keep that from fraying too. It should, I would think. There. Just got it on my table. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. Maybe not overnight, but maybe pretty close to it. And then I will trim this up and do any touching up that I need to. And then, because like I said, we don't dare bend it until that's completely dry. So I'm going to stop the video there, and I will come back maybe in another video and sew in the signatures and put in the pockets and let you know how it's, you know, let you see how it turns out. All right, well, I thank you for watching, and you have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.